Yeah, that's what you want when we trade. Today's video, very important concept, very important thing to understand and be self-aware about, because how you feel is going to tell you a whole lot about where you actually stand in your journey as a trader. So I know for us guys, being in touch with their feelings is kind of like, but as traders, you gotta be aware of your feelings. And this all comes from a comment that I had on a YouTube video. So let's get to this comment, and then we're gonna kind of break down and we're gonna talk about our feelings. Cool video. How are you able to be emotionless, or at least you sound like nothing is happening? When I'm in a trade, my heart starts racing fast and I get super emotional. The key is meth. No, I'm just kidding. It's not meth. All right, here we go. So here we have a situation. We have a trader. What's a name that I haven't used before? Let's keep it Rose. That's a nice name. We have Rose, and she's gonna put on a trade. And really there's two outcomes that can happen after the trade is put on. So trade is put on, meaning her real money is on the line, as in she could lose it. There's gonna be yawning that's going on, or there's gonna be, to use this person's terminology, heart, what did they say? Calmness? No, racing. And then they also use the word emotionless. So when you should, hopefully you're kind of getting at what you should be, what camp you should be in, if you should be trading or should not be trading. So as far as you're doing things right in trading, is if right here, if you are yawning. Moral of the story here, if you get in a trade and your heart is racing, there is something severely wrong. You should not feel like that when you are in a trade. Now, what is wrong? That's kind of a pretty deep rabbit hole. Nothing that can't be figured out, but more than what I can accomplish in this video. But my point is, when you get in a trade, like I said, just get in touch with your feelings. How are you feeling? And it's going to be very, very straightforward. Because if you get in and, like you said, your heart starts racing, starts thumping quicker than it should be, there's something wrong. Whereas you're doing it right when you can get in a trade and you just sit there and you can still talk in a normal way, you can still focus, you can still just handle everything else that's going on. For me, my kids can come in, I can talk with them while I'm in a trade. I even think in some of my live trade videos, my kids have come in and I've talked with them, and maybe this might be the video where he's commenting on, but I guess I don't know that for sure. But the point being, when you are yawning, that means you have confidence. Confidence in what? Well, you actually have a strategy. And a big part of that strategy is understanding risk. Again, I'm not going to go into all of that, but there's all sorts of components that can lead to your strategy starting to fall apart that have to do with just simply risk, such as position size. That's just a very basic one, but that can kind of start to throw things, out of the loop, where you are no longer yawning, but your heart is racing. But that is what that is a sign of. If you can honestly say, and only you're going to know your feelings, when you get into a trade and you're calm, you're collected, then you know what? You have confidence in your strategy. And my guess would be you have confidence in your strategy because you've seen it work over and over and over again. So I'm not saying all this in the sense of your very first trade ever, you should be totally calm and collective. No, there's going to be a little bit of adrenaline rush because you've never done this before. It's a brand new experience. But if afterwards you've made trade and trade and trade and your heart is still racing, what is causing this? The heart race. Well, at the end of the day, in your heart of hearts, no pun intended, you're just simply gambling. Now, I'm not saying that you are gambling intentionally. I'm not saying that you went into all this with the mindset of, hey, it's time to gamble. Let's go. Let me save myself a plane ticket to Las Vegas. I'm just saying that you actually don't really have confidence in whatever strategy that you are using. Something is broken in the strategy. And when you're putting your money on the line with a broken strategy, at the end of the day, that boils down to gambling. Now, it's not degenerate gambling like some people out there are doing, but it is still gambling. But the other issue here is that I'm just going to put strategy with a question mark by it, and the question mark representing, do you really have confidence in that strategy? Does it actually work? Do you even really know what you're doing? Or are you kind of just tricking yourself to think that you have a strategy, to think that you know what you're doing, but in your heart of hearts, again, no pun intended, you actually don't know. And the heart is actually a great indicator. It's a great audit on, do you actually have confidence, or is it, because if your heart is racing, there's something wrong with the strategy. It could be something very, very minor. It could be something where it's like, whew, yeah, you got to put on your hard hat. There's a lot of work to be done. And this in and of itself, let's find another color here. This right here summarizes trading. I mean, this is what traders are trying to do. At the end of the day, they are trying to get themselves to be yawning. If you're not trying to get yourself to be yawning, you're not doing it right. If you're trying to seek the heart racing, adrenaline, roller coaster feeling, then yeah, you are not just a gambler, you are a degenerate gambler. I mean, I guess I'll give you credit. Like I said earlier, at least you're smart enough to realize you don't even need to spend money on a plane ticket to fly to Las Vegas. You can just become a degenerate gambler from the comforts of your own home. So if you are in this seeking and you want this, that's not good. This is what all traders are eventually striving towards, is the yawn, where you have full confidence in your system and you can just remain rational during the entire process. And again, like I said, sometimes it's just a small little change that needs to be made to your strategy. Sometimes it's much bigger. How do you know? Well, that's where all the knowledge, that's where the education, that's where that sort of stuff comes from, because it can be it's a very fine-tuning process, and it can be fine-tuned, but the ultimate judge of whether it's fine-tuned enough, your heart. Is it racing, or is it, are you kind of yawning with things? So the sign you should not be trading, well, I guess as cliche and as weird as it kind of sounds, but it works out perfectly here. Should you be trading? I don't know. Listen to your heart. If you are out there trading alone currently and maybe are in the market looking for a community to join to assist you in your trading or to just help you, give you another set of eyeballs, then I do have a private trading community where you can trade alongside me and other experienced traders. So what you see popping up on the screen right now is both an information link. So if you click on the inner circle one, that is going to take you to the page where I explain all the details of what exactly come with the community, both the chat room and the newsletter. And then the other image that has popped up is a behind the scenes tour where you can see exactly what is going to be contained within the community. I take you through, like I said, a behind the scenes tour of everything, and that way you'll know precisely what you are getting when you join. So definitely check that stuff out if you are interested and thinking about wanting to join a community, and let me know if you have any questions.